Have you ever just stopped and wondered, what are you really made of? I mean, not skin and bones, but the absolute most basic stuff. Well, in this explainer, we're going to zoom in, way in, to find those tiny building blocks that make up you, me, and literally everything in the universe.
Okay, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. What could you, the invisible air you're breathing right this second, and a star burning millions of light years away, what could they possibly have in common? It sounds kind of impossible, right? But believe it or not, there is one amazing answer.
And that answer is both super simple and totally mind-blowing. All of those things, they're all built from the exact same ingredient, these tiny, incredibly powerful particles called atoms.
So, to really get a handle on this huge idea, let's bring it right back down to Earth. We'll start with the universe that you can actually hold in your hand.
That's right. Just look at the phone or computer you're watching this on. Feel how solid it is. Well, what you're actually feeling is just a massive, organized collection of atoms, all vibrating and holding together. The same goes for the chair you're on, your desk, even you.
So what is an atom, really? You know, the best way to think of it is like the ultimate Lego brick. An atom is the smallest possible piece of an element, like, say, gold or oxygen, that you can have where it still acts like that element. If you break it down any further, you don't have gold anymore. You just have its leftover parts.
Okay, so we've established that atoms are the building blocks. But what are the blocks themselves made of? It's time to take a little journey to the center and check out the atom's internal structure.
And this is where things get really cool. For something so ridiculously small, an atom is actually a pretty busy place. It's not just some solid little ball. It's got a whole world inside. So what do we find in there?
Right at the heart of every single atom, we find the nucleus. This is the atom's super dense, heavy core. And it is incredibly tiny compared to the whole atom. I mean, if an atom were the size of a giant football stadium, the nucleus would be like a single pea sitting on the 50-yard line. But get this, it contains almost all of the atom's mass.
But that tiny nucleus isn't empty. Oh no, it's packed with even smaller particles. In fact, the whole shebang is made up of a few key players. So, come on, let's meet the atom's inner family. First up, living inside that nucleus, we have the proton. This one's super easy to remember. Proton starts with P, and it has a positive charge. These little guys are absolutely crucial because the number of protons an atom has is what decides what element it is.
Right there in the nucleus with the protons is our second particle, the neutron. And just like it sounds, neutrons are neutral. They have no electrical charge at all. Their main job is to kind of act like the glue, helping to hold all those positive protons together since positive charges naturally want to push each other away.
And now for the last member of the family, and this one lives outside the nucleus. These are the electrons. They're these incredibly small particles that are just whizzing around the nucleus, and they carry a negative charge. This is so important because their negative charge perfectly balances out the positive charge of the protons, which makes the whole atom stable.
Now, you've probably heard this comparison before, that electrons are like planets orbiting the sun. And you know what? It's a really popular way to visualize what's going on. While in reality, it's more like a fuzzy cloud of possibilities, that whole planets and sun analogy is a fantastic way to picture this dynamic system in your head.
So let's do a quick recap. As you can see right here, it's pretty simple. We've got our three particles. Protons, they're positive, and they're inside the nucleus. Neutrons, they're neutral, also inside the nucleus. And the electrons, they're negative, and they're zooming around outside the nucleus. See? Simple and clear.
So, we've met all the individual players. Now, for the final part, let's zoom out a bit and see how they all combine to create the finished product. Let's take a look at the big picture. And here's how it all snaps together. Step 1. You've got the nucleus, that tightly packed little ball of positive protons and neutral neutrons. Step 2, surrounding that core, you've got the cloud of super-fast negative electrons. And you put them together, and voila! You have a complete, balanced atom, the fundamental building block of our entire universe.
So why does any of this matter? Well, because when you start to really get how an atom works, you're not just learning science, you're learning the secret recipe for the entire world. It's the ultimate how it's made story for reality itself.
Okay, so we've seen what everything is made of. But that leaves us with one final really juicy question to chew on. If atoms are the building blocks, what are the instructions? What tells them how to combine to make a tree, or water, or a star? Well, that's a story for another time. Thanks for joining me on this one.